Well, hello, everybody. If you have been on my channel for any amount of time, you know that otters are not as they seem. There's a lot of animals that are given good press and are not as they truly seem. And otters are one of the biggest culprits of this. Otters are menaces. Every otter, they're giant weasels that, depending on it, luckily they don't get 6 foot long like the ones down in South America do. If the ones that were up here got that big, we would kill them all because they would attack everybody. Santa Cruz. Surfboards stealing otter, not taking the bait as wildlife officials try to catch her. Catching a seed otter that's been pilfering surfboards in Santa Cruz is turning out to be a tricky balancing act for wildlife experts who have given the slip by the animal so far. Otter 841, her official name, has made international headlines after she was caught on camera bullying surfers off their boards and then happily cruising or gnawing on them. And she's doing it while easily slipping the clutches of wildlife officers who have deemed her a threat to public safety and are in a multi-day mission in hopes of capturing her. Santa Cruz photographer Mark Woodward, who goes by the handle Native Santa Cruz on Twitter, shared videos of 841 wrestling a board away from a surfer at Cowell Beach last month. Woodward has been documenting the efforts of U.S. Fish and Wildlife officials to capture 841 using what appears to be a bait surfboard, as well as monitoring equipment on the shore. He told KTVU he saw a boat with more than 5 divers in wetsuits offshore on Wednesday, attempting to lure the otter onto the board, which was tied to the stern. There was also a very large empty crate on board to transfer the animal if they succeed. The bait board was one 841 had already damaged and was donated by the surfer, according to Woodward. At one point, Otter, presumably 841, jumped onto the surfboard and the crew began reeling it in hopes of pinning the animal down with nets, but she was too quick and slipped back beneath the surface. That was your plan? It'd be like, oh, it's on the board. Now what? We really didn't think I'd get this far. Let's reel it in. They can't throw a net over it because it will get tangled and drown, Woodward pointed out. That's why they can't tranquilize it. Woodward said, we have also spotted a worker with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife on the shore tracking the otter on Wednesday using some sort of antenna tracking equipment in communication with the boat. Jesus Christ, why do I always yawn? After the boat's crew's failed attempt earlier in the day, Woodward snapped some photos of a diver floating on the bait who were attempting to paddle closer to 841 later in the afternoon, but she swam away. She's not stupid. She ain't dumb. Can you imagine that? How much money do you think they put into this? How much time and money have they put into capturing this one otter? It didn't say it bit anybody. It just said it was like getting people to leave their surfboards. It's just like, no, this is my home. Get out of here. No idea. On Thursday, there was no sign of U.S. Fish and Wildlife at the beach during Woodward's afternoon visit around 2 p.m. All he managed to spot was a raft of relaxed otters floating and sleeping in the kelp bed a few hundred yards offshore, just being lazy, he said, and hopefully not raping each other. He said he planned to return to the beach in the early evening when 841 seemed to be most active. Maybe he doesn't like the name 841. Maybe give it a name. Known to the authorities, wildlife officials are monitoring the otter ever since she was seen commandeering multiple surfers' boards in the area. The animal appears to have no fears of humans and even damages some boards with her teeth and jaws that are strong enough to break through clams. Have no fears of humans. Yeah, but so it didn't bite any people. It just is damaging people's property. They're freaking out. U.S. Fish and Wildlife told KTVU that the service was authorized to capture the otter after recently trying and failing to use hazing techniques, which are non-invasive methods to scare away animals such as playing loud noises. Oh, God. Played some Billie Eilish. it'll leave. While 841 is no longer no stranger to wildlife officials, techniques that worked to deter her from similar behavior just last year appear to be failing this time around. This sea otter was observed with the pup after returning to the Santa Cruz area in May 2022, a U.S. Fish and Wildlife official said in the statement. She exhibited similar unusual behavior in the Santa Cruz area in September of 2022, at which time CDFW and Monterey Bay Aquarium staff successfully hazed the otter, preventing further incidents through the winter. You suck, otter. You lay on your back in the water and eat clams. Boo! Is that what they're doing? A social media star is born. With all the media attention, Otter 841 had become a social media darling, prompting folks across the internet to post memes, jokes, and calls of encouragement for the animal to remain free and elude the authorities. Yeah, just leave it alone. One of them needs to go undercover as a surfer to get that otter. Maybe Keanu Reeves can repress his rule from Point Break and catch it, wrote a Twitter user. It was too obvious that guy was a cop, replied another user, referring to the parent bait board and efforts by wildlife officials to trick 841 into being captured. Yeah, I mean, what do you expect? An otter's just doing its thing. And you're like, we want all these animals here. We want it to be natural. We want to protect these species. Oh no, they're messing with people. We gotta get rid of them. Like, you're all right with wild animals being there and interacting and living with wild animals until it does something to a person. I'm beginning to get kind of like, I mean, if the otters are known to be go after people in this area, don't surf in that area. Find another place to surf. Animals live there. What, like, that's at the point I'm at with a lot of this. Like, these same people who are crying about manatees being taken off the endangered species list would be so mad if the beaches were shut down because manatees lived in that area. As soon as it affects them, they're so mad. We want the like, now that they're like the American alligators making a complete comeback, the American crocodiles making a comeback, the Florida Panthers making a comeback. They want the animals to do fine. The black bear is making a comeback. They want the animals to be fine, but as soon as you say, hey, we need to limit these populations because now they're going to start affecting people, they're like, no, you can't do that. But then the second that a black bear walks on their porch and like endangers them, they're like, it had to be killed. It was affecting, it could have hurt somebody. You either live with the animals or you don't. These people are hypocrites. They don't want to see these animals actually succeed. They want to pretend like they're doing a good deed by supporting the animals doing better. But when it truly comes down to it, if it affects them, that animal's dead. Okay? Hey, that animal's in your favorite body of water that you surf in, that animal's gone. That animal needs to be in a zoo because it's affecting people. It's so dumb. And it irritates me because I see it all the time. When you interact with animals in their natural environment, you are the invader, not them. And like literally, what are you gonna do? You're gonna put this one particular one in like a different area? It's gonna keep on doing it. So what? You're gonna kill it? You're gonna put it in a zoo? What are you gonna do to this thing? It's a wild animal doing its wild thing, and it seems to be doing just fine as a wild animal. You just don't like that it doesn't like people surfing in its territory. It didn't even bite people, from what I understand from this. I don't get it. I never will, of course, but who knows? Am I wrong about this? Let me know down below. Like, comment, subscribe. Check out the Discord if you haven't yet, DNA_reptiles. And I'll see you on the next one. Keep it wild.